watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Happy New Year and welcome to the January episode of Healthy Germantown TV. I'm your host, Will Kassner. Now, Germantown is one of the few communities in the state recognized by the Governor's Foundation for Health and Wellness as a Healthier Tennessee community. Here with us to talk more about Healthier Tennessee is West Tennessee Regional Director Syrena Flowers. Later, we'll try to find our zen and learn how to do a proper tree pose as we visit Wendy Holmes, owner of Pike Yoga and Workout with Wendy. Lastly, we'll end the show by taking a trip to the Germantown Greenway with Tulio Bertorini, president of the Memphis Hightailers Bicycle Club, as he gives us some important bicycle safety tips and reminders. Now, I'd like to welcome Syrena to the show. Thanks for stopping by today.
Sure, anytime.
So tell me a little bit about what you do with the state of Tennessee.
So I'm the West Tennessee Regional Director. So we have communities all across the state of Tennessee, and we're a small team of around 9 or 10 people in Nashville. So I am stationed in Jackson, have a home office, and work with the 22 communities across West Tennessee to try to get them healthier and high-performing levels like Germantown.
So Germantown just won a statewide award. Tell us a little bit about what we got.
Correct. So this was the first time that we have kind of put our heads together and thought of, let's look at all of the communities thus far. We have 46 of the over 100 that have been designated, and let's try to find who is our top performing in the state. So we chose one community to represent each of the grand divisions. So Germantown for West, and then we had Clarksville and Bradley County. And so then when looking at their applications, we tried to look and see who had the most diverse committee, who had, the more businesses, churches, and schools involved, who really owned marketing and promotion or had created a brand, even who had maybe worked with policy changes or built environment. So when you kind of combined all of those together, it was clear that Germantown was the top in the state. So Germantown just won the state Healthier Tennessee Community of the Year, and this is the annual first-time award, so congratulations to Germantown.
Well, thank you. It's huge for the city.
Yes,
so
yes.
Next year you're coming out with the Best TV Show Award, right?
Sure. We will be more than happy to. We just need to have a few other competitors.
Sounds
first.
good. So we've also just completed the Walk Across Tennessee competition. Talk a little bit about how successful we were as a community and perhaps how we compared to other communities across the state.
So for Germantown being a first community to ever have a Walk Across Tennessee competition, y'all did a great job. You had over 70 teams with over 700 participants and then a little over 65,000 miles. So that's huge. We have some communities who've been doing Walk Across Tennessee for 5 or 10 years and they're still not to that level yet. So I think Germantown did an amazing job. When you look at the city employees, over 25% participated in the challenge. When you look at the total population, over 2% of the total population participated, and that may not seem huge, but it really is. When you look at other initiatives that communities are doing, and then even ones that Germantown is doing, that's the biggest impact being made thus far. So I think you should definitely look to see what you can do to keep the momentum going. I know a lot of people were competitive and trying to get their miles and be the top team, so Germantown did a great job.
It was a lot of fun too. You don't realize going into it how much you're going to buy into it as a competitor.
Right.
Yeah, I know at our office we found ourselves walking to like the farthest trash can in the hallway, and it's really a fun competition, and it really it does encourage you to exercise more and get moving. So it's It's a great program.
And the thing we like about it at the foundation is, since it's a 5-week program, hopefully if you're already doing those activities for 5 weeks, even though it's over, you'll continue to do those healthy habits and then create a more healthier individual and a healthier city.
Yeah, so Walk Across Tennessee comes once a year. What are some other things that you guys push, maybe some new things that you're pushing for 2018 that kind of promote that healthy lifestyle?
So we're always promoting our Streaks mobile application. So it's a free app you can download on the Android or Apple store. And it's just quick health tips and reminders. So obviously at the new year, everyone's booming to make their New Year's resolutions around health and wellness. So this would be an easy way to get involved, or even downloading Small Starts for Families, which takes it a step further and incorporates that for your household.
That sounds like a really cool app, cool program. Are there specific activities that you found, across the state, some things that really just work well as far as making it easy for people to be healthy?
I think the Streaks app is the go-to tool to use. It has steps in there for you to take for a nutrition, physical activity, and then if you are a tobacco user, ways that you can stop using tobacco. It sends you your notifications straight to your phone. You can even connect it with your Facebook friends and start healthy competitions. That way to keep you engaged and keep you motivated. So if you haven't downloaded the mobile application, I would really encourage you to take a look at it, something new for 2018.
Yeah, all about staying connected.
Yes.
So what are some things that you do personally in your life, your activity levels, to really kind of push towards that healthy lifestyle?
So I'm a runner. I really like to get out, and usually in the mornings, first thing when it's still kind of quiet, you can watch the sun come up. I just did the St. Jude half marathon for the 2nd year in a row and actually beat my time by 25 minutes. So I'm pretty proud of myself.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Even though towards the end I was ready for it to be over. But I think just, having that goal, whether it's to complete a half marathon or even just to complete a 5K, and then find friends that keep you accountable. I know within our office we have a great support system where we're always encouraging each other to get up and get active, and that just goes back to Walk Across Tennessee and then this program as a whole, a healthier Tennessee community, where you can be healthy one person at a time, but then in general making your whole city a healthier place.
Very good. So any last tips that you'd like to leave with us on how to stay healthy in the new year?
I would say just, pick one goal and go for it. You're going to have stumble blocks along the way. We all fall off. We all, find a piece of candy, or we find that, want to try something new. But
cheeseburger.
Yeah, but just getting back on the wagon and don't let yourself fall off. Like I said, going back to that Streaks app where you get the notifications and the reminders, just a great way to keep it top of mind.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for coming by today.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed talking to you, and hope to see you again real soon.
Sounds good.
We have to take a short break, but after this, we'll be trying to find our zen with Wendy Holmes at Pike Yoga.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Healthy Germantown. We're here at Pike Yoga with owner Wendy Holmes to talk a little bit about yoga. Wendy, so how long have you been here with Pike Yoga in Germantown?
So we have been here 3 years, and we're about to sign a lease and stay another 3 years.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's been great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what got you on board with yoga? How'd all this get started?
Yeah, well, good question. So I was a personal trainer out of my house and attended some free yoga classes in September's yoga month. And I attended some free classes, and started thinking, why is everyone not doing yoga? So then I started driving to Midtown to do yoga, because that's where yoga was, most of it. There's definitely some yoga in Germantown, in our community centers and in our churches, but not really a place physically, just for yoga.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, so then I rented some space. I got certified. So I visit the classes, then I decided to get certified. Then I rent some space, and that's when I realized I'm only one person with one schedule, and what if I had other teachers with more talent and more knowledge who could offer different classes in different times?
Yeah.
And here we are.
That's awesome. Here we are.
Here we are.
So with yoga, I guess there's been kind of a growth over the last few years here. What are some of like the apprehensions, misconceptions that people have?
Yeah.
Where people say, like, yoga's not for me.
Right. Well, and maybe yoga is not for everyone. Here's the way I look at it. Certain yoga, there's a yoga type for everybody. You just have to find the right kind of yoga. Does that help?
Makes sense.
So, I think some of it is, we're in the South, and I think people wanted to correlate it with a religion, and you can, just like you could with anything, but really it is about practicing a form of, it's been around for thousands of years, and bringing it to the mat and in a community, and creating community, which I think is why it does work. Yoga has been practiced, you can do it solo on your mat at home. But I think when you come with a community and practicing with others, you get the feedback that you might not otherwise get at home, other than your body telling you can't do things. I think another misconception is that everyone is a pretzel here and you can bend really bendy, right? Not so much. Matter of fact, none of us can. That's what's so funny. Or let's just say what happens is you could do one pose really well, and then I go to do it and I'm not, but I can do something you can't do. So it all has to do with shoulders and hips and tightness and mindset and practice. So I think some of it is everyone thinks before you come in here you have to be really flexible, and that's not true. The whole idea is that you're going to get more flexible, but not only in your physical body, but in your mind body. So that's
just kind of
another
gives you
side
time
effect.
to relax and focus.
Right.
So as I'm a guy, and so I think for a lot of guys' workout mentality, it's like, I need to go lift weights. I used to bench press around 3:45, sometimes even 4 o'clock.
Right.
How do you get people involved from different mindsets, different walks of life?
I think you bring up a good point. I can't believe more men don't do yoga, for the mere fact that it is harder than it looks. Like, it's strength building, so it does, which guys are good at. Guys tend to be have a little bit stronger bodies and can do. So I'm surprised more men don't do it. I think the flexibility thing hinders them. But I would like to say that there are certain classes that are perfect for, like a gentle yoga is our best seller here, and it brings in everybody from an athlete who needs a calmer day, because an athlete trains pretty hard, but they need to counterbalance some of that with a yin class or a gentle. Or maybe a class like a restorative class. Some of our clients, men who are these CEOs of businesses, and they travel for a living, they are actually take some private yoga, or they do body rolling, which is another little,
sounds
it sounds a little different, right? It's like a self-massage with some yoga. We find that those men actually attend those classes because it really helps them in their business world. So it's amazing what yoga, how it transfers into other aspects of your life. That's right.
That's awesome. So currently, right now, I know 2 yoga poses. One would be the Heisman, and then the other would be the Tebow. So those are the 2 that I know.
Yes. We need to broaden your horizons.
Some new yoga poses, maybe something like on the beginner level that can kind of get our viewers interested in what you have to offer.
So let's do some warriors, because warriors are very popular. Like if you went to a Pilates class, you would do the 100, which is an ab thing in Pilates. Everyone knows what it is. So in yoga, almost regardless of where you practice, whatever studio you in, I bet you would do a Virabhadrasana 1, which is a warrior 1. So let's do a warrior 1.
Let's do it.
All right, take your right foot and it goes forward, and take your left leg behind you.
Okay. Whoa.
All right. Now, So if you feel that's good. See how you feel kind of unbalanced?
Yeah.
What you can do is take the back leg and set it apart. So
Okay.
you've got some space.
A little broader
there,
stance.
so you're broader
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
stance. Good. Now take a bend in this front right knee. This right,
Bend in
yes.
the knee. Okay,
So,
okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now take your arms above your head.
Yep.
All right, now, very nice. So what I want to point now, what I would come do is might correct you and say, there you're at, turn your toes more forward, bend into your knee, and what you're really doing is stretching this leg right
Yeah,
here.
feeling it.
And you want to be strong in your belly, and we can even look up, bring your palms together if that's available.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I feel
So
like
Virabhadrasana 1.
This is good.
Okay, let's go to Warrior 2. Let's be another warrior.
Okay.
Now go this way, and I usually I make my stance a little bit wider. Okay, good. So right here, I like it. Yep, palm down.
Oh, down.
There you go.
I'm doing
Palm.
the,
I know you are. You're like, come to yoga.
Bruce Lee.
Okay, so your knee, this is very
out.
common, likes to wobble in.
Yeah.
Take the knee more.
Knee out.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, yeah.
All right, now you want to look forward because warriors are about, here,
It's the
you
stance,
can't
yeah.
knock me. I'm here. I'm strong
right.
in my core. I'm strong in my legs. I'm strong
Yeah.
in my mind, and I'm ready.
I'm feeling it.
I'm ready to take on anything,
Yeah.
right? Okay, good. So bring your hands to your hip, and then step forward to the front of the mat. There. So imagine
Now we
holding
take a break,
that.
right?
No. You keep going. You flow with it. So imagine being in that pose for 5 breaths, like deep
Yeah.
inhalation with exhalation, and then really the goal, like you'll hear the teacher say, come back, bring your intention, come back and be present, because commonly what happens is, what does the mind want to do? It wants to wander.
Wander, yeah.
So the one, and all of us who like to be outside exercising, those are all, I'm a personal trainer. These are all great things, but something about yoga is constantly bringing you back to your breath and makes you very present. So maybe you're not supposed to be thinking about the grocery list
Yeah.
or when to pick up the kids, just for a moment. Because, right,
just quiet.
think about, which is another reason why yoga, I think, is popular. We can run a whole business from the palm of our hand, right?
Right.
iPhones, iPads, or smartphone. You name it. And so people are having trouble. It's a very chaotic, disconnecting. It's a very chaotic world, and we somehow are finding ourselves always going. And we're now having to teach children that ability that not only is it okay to shut off, it's
Yeah, it's good,
necessary.
yeah.
Right? Because it's in those quiet times that you're actually more creative. If you keep going at 100 miles an hour, it's not going to turn out really well.
Right.
So it's really, we're having to reteach all these beautiful things that technology gave us, and that's great. Let's honor them, but let's also honor this beautiful mind and body that we have to teach.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to show you a balancing pose.
Okay,
so
here we go.
this helps.
Here we go.
Back to that chaotic world. Balancing. All right, so right foot forward. Let's put our left foot forward.
Good.
How about that?
I don't-
Okay,
we'll see
left
how
foot
this
forward.
goes. I am
Bring your
left-handed.
hands to your heart center.
Got it.
So this is when every time hands are at heart center, we're calmer, we get more focused, we're stronger.
Right.
All right, now take your right leg back a little bit more.
Little back.
All right.
Yep.
Now start to bring your body weight forward.
All right.
All right, we're gonna pause here. Now I want you to start to lift that back leg.
Yep.
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 Yep. I'm gonna check your form.
Come check me.
Check your form.
How's it
now,
looking?
because it's so good,
point the toe?
I want you to try to reach your arms out.
Okay.
Keep reaching, take your leg out more, keep bending more, keep going, and then pause right there.
And you hold this?
You hold, yes,
Oh, no.
with breath work, deep inhalation, with a deep exhalation, and come down.
Yeah.
But see, the beauty of yoga is it's practice.
Yeah.
And what usually happens
With time comes good
is
things.
sometimes you come in and you have this great practice. Other times you've practiced a pose on one foot, and you, for whatever reason today, you're not going to balance on one foot if your life depended on it.
Yep.
So, we might teach things like come to the wall or just
Little
come out of the
assistance,
pose.
yeah.
So, what people struggle with a little bit on the mat is ego.
Right.
Right? I see you doing it. I want to do it.
Right.
But another side effect of this practicing yoga is you do come back to your body and your breath, and you realize, I could not could not do a Warrior 3 before, and now I can.
Yeah.
So it teaches you a lot of lessons about your mind and your body and your spirit.
And your ability.
And your ability.
I like it.
On any given day.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
what final thoughts? How would you, I guess, if you could have one last promotion, one last tip for how to take the leap into yoga and to really get involved,
Yeah.
What would you say?
So there's a couple of things I would look for if you've never done yoga. I'm looking for a class that is a beginner level or like a yoga 101, something that's introductory.
Keep it basic.
Keep it basic. And then sometimes you repeat it again. You do it twice. It's what's the hurry? Yoga teaches you what are you going to do when you get there?
Yeah.
Like it's not about rushing into it, but really about just being a part of it and learning your body and your poses. So a beginner intro, and then the other thing is, let's say you try. Really, what yoga has been about is about finding a teacher. I mean, that's really what the whole.
That's a big part.
It's about finding a teacher that works well with you and your body. Because the more that teacher gets to know your practice, you're gonna, the benefits. Now I realize with busy schedules that doesn't always work.
Right.
But so you just finding again, I think it's important to find the right class, the right teacher, and it's not always at the one location. You might have to. I was a traveling yogi before I opened Pike Yoga. I went to several yoga studios because my schedule was kind of quirky and hard to fit in. So I think just don't give up on it. And there's free yoga out there. There's very expensive yoga out there. There's fast yoga. There's hot yoga. There's it's really endless. But I think the basic and introductory is a great way to get started. And you have to, it's a practice. It's not like you come once, Warrior 3, and you're just,
magician,
you're the most calm person in the world. It's about practice. And once you, what you learn on the mat starts to help you and adapt when you're in the real world. It's funny how it'll show up. You'll be like, God, that's such a yogi thing I just did. I'm not yelling at the car next to me. I'm just going to let that go.
Right. You see it pass through to other things. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for letting us stop by today.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you again.
That sounds great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's all the time we have here. When we come back, we'll meet with Tulio Bertorini, president of the Memphis Hightailers Bicycle Club.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Healthy Germantown. We are here at the world-famous Germantown Greenway with our good friend Tulio Bertorini, president of the Memphis Hightailers Bicycle Club. Tulio, thanks for stopping by.
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, I'm president of the Memphis Hightailers Bicycle Club, and we actually organize events, bicycle events, and we also do bicycle training. So if you want to learn how to ride, we have instructors that can help you do that.
Sounds good. Now, is it like free bicycle training kind of stuff, or is there like a registration that you do?
We do offer some free bicycle training. We do charge for some of our training depending on which one you're taking.
Sounds good. So where's the best place to go to get signed up for you guys?
You can go to memphishightailers.com.
Awesome.
And it lists all our events, and not just our events, but events here locally as well.
Everything you need to know in the bicycle world.
That's right.
Perfect.
We have it.
So you're here today to talk a little bit about bicycle safety.
Yes.
What can you give us as far as tips to stay safe out there on the trails?
Okay. Well, the first step is before you even leave the house, you want to make sure your bike's in working order. So what we normally like to do is an ABC quick check. So A stands for air, so you want to make sure you've got air in your tires.
Check those tires.
B is for brakes, so you want to make sure your brakes can stop, because you want to make sure you can stop on the trail, especially if a squirrel runs in front of you. C is going to be for anything that has to do with your chain. So chain, your derailleur, everything right there, and then the quick check part of it is going to make sure that your quick releases are tight.
Right.
So on your wheel, you want to make sure everything's tight here. And on the back, you want to make sure your seat's tight. You don't want to drop down while you're riding on the trails or on the paved trail.
Right. Yeah, I was actually on a bike ride one time and my wife's pedal came off.
Yeah.
And so we had to pedal back 5 miles with one pedal. It was crazy. So
that's scary.
It's good to do your checkup.
Oh yeah, and the ABC quick check, it takes less than 20 seconds to do it, and before you even get out, do a quick check, and if you bounce it and everything's rattling, you got some problems.
Yeah. So good to know on the front end for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, specifically in regards to, say, Greenway trail riding, what are some safety tips that you'd have for us there?
Well, the first step there is if you're on a bike, pedestrians have the right of way. So you always want to make sure that if there is a pedestrian coming, walker with kids, anything like that, that you make sure you move out of the way, let them go by if you need to. The other thing is if you're passing a biker, is you want to make sure, a walker, you want to make sure that you let them know that you're coming up behind them. You might say, on your left, right or back, just to let them know that, hey, there's somebody coming up.
Yeah.
People have earbuds on these days, so you may have to speak up a little bit louder. A bell usually works as well.
Yep, little honky horn.
Yeah, a little honky horn can work too.
Good deal. So I guess in your experience with bike riding, what are some of the benefits that bike riding has brought to you? And part two of the question, have you ever seen a situation where something could have been prevented as far as safety goes?
Oh, wow. In terms of, I guess, for the prevented piece, a lot of that is just be predictable. It's kind of the main thing is make sure that, motorists know what you're planning on doing and be cautious. You're out there on a bike, cars weigh 2 tons. Even on the Greenway, runners move back and forth. People with kids with dogs on leashes, you don't know what they're doing. So you always want to be on the lookout and expecting the worst, even though it may not happen, just to be prepared. And I guess I missed the first question.
So, like, how has bicycle exercise, trail life benefited you?
Oh, it's kept me lean and trim.
There you go.
But no, it's actually good to get out and ride. It, mentally it helps. You also get to meet a lot of new people out there on the bike.
Yeah. So with Memphis Hightailers, how many people do you usually have like on a bike ride or an event?
Well, it depends on a bike ride. It can be anywhere from if it's real cold, 2, 3 people, to where it's nice, you could have over 100 people on a ride. We have one that starts at Cameron Brown every Monday, which is perfect for beginners. I think they do maybe 7 to 10 miles, very slow pace, very casual. For our events, it can be anywhere from 300 to 600 people that participate in our events.
That's awesome. Now, so what is the longest bike ride that you've ever done?
That I've ever done, it's the longest bike ride I've ever done, I'd say, is about 100 miles, and that's probably the last time I'll ever do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with an average 40 miles or less. 20 actually seems to be my average lately, and I'm happy with that.
Sounds like a good run.
Yeah.
100, that'd be a long one. Let's say, this time of year it's getting dark earlier, but people are still out, looking to exercise. Do you have some tips as far as night safety on a bike?
Definitely.
We've got this guy decked out with glow sticks. Out with this.
Definitely, you want to get a headlight for the front of the bike, something that's real bright, and then you want to get a nice bright tail light for the back. At night, it's required by law to have both of them anyway, so you want to make sure that you have them. If it's going to be, like today, it's kind of overcast, you want to make sure you have them just in case if it's close to the evening hours. The other thing is reflective gear. Wear a bright jacket, reflective always works. If you can't, just make sure you're not wearing a black jacket because you're not going to be seen. Some people add reflective pieces to their helmets, and just make sure that everything's charged, or fresh batteries is always good to have too.
Sounds good. Now, what about speed limit? On Greenway trails, is there like a kind of like a code of speed, or?
There is, I think the average, depends, throughout Memphis and Germantown, the speed limit's a little bit different. You've got anywhere between 10 miles and 12 miles is what the speed limit should be on any type of greenway or green line. You want to try to keep it to that speed, because hitting somebody or a pedestrian faster than that could be dangerous. And if you do hit somebody, you'd be liable. So you want to make sure that you are cautious if there's a pedestrian and you happen to be going a little bit faster than you should be.
Right, so always be aware, always be alert.
That's right.
Well, thanks for stopping by today. I look forward to checking out the Memphis Hightailers, maybe hit the trails with you guys soon.
For sure.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's all the time we have on this episode of Healthy Germantown. If you'd like information on our show or any other show, check out gmtvonline.org. Happy New Year and stay healthy, G-Town.